Hey parents, it's Dana with CPS Success. We are just a few short days away from the start of the school year. The school supplies are flowing, the kids are excited, and you can't wait to get them out of your house. So I have with me today Chelsea Weisensel. She is a kindergarten teacher at Hamilton Elementary with CPS. And I'm so excited to have her here to tell us what the first few days of school are really like. Welcome, Chelsea.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So Chelsea, you've been teaching for several years, a couple of them at CPS. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So this will be my 7th year teaching. I spent 4 years teaching in Joliet, taught kindergarten for 3 years and 1 year in 3rd grade. And this will be my 3rd year at Hamilton in kindergarten, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome. So we are just a few days away from that coveted first day of school. And, parents who maybe had their kids in preschool, or even those who didn't, we're trying to figure out what kindergarten is really like, maybe how it's different from preschool. We're all super excited to have our kids finally in school. We understand it, it's a big deal going into kindergarten and the emotions are running high. Chelsea, what is that first day of school really like?
So like that, a lot of excitement behind that day. And it's important not to put too much excitement behind it, because although you're an adult and you can handle the nerves, sometimes the kids can't. And they can't tell you that they're feeling nervous, and they can't tell you that they're anxious, but they're feeling it. So it's important to not put too much emphasis on all of the matching backpacks and lunch bags and all the cool supplies and all of those things. Just really talk to your child. Like, how are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you happy that you have some friends that you know in your class? Just how are you feeling? Also remember that tears on the first day, 2nd day, 3rd day, couple of weeks, it's totally normal. And if that happens, it happens. You give them a hug, a kiss, you tell them you love them, they've got it, they can do it, and you walk away. That's the biggest thing. They're going to be nervous. And if there are tears, you've got to walk away. You got to show them that you love them and move away, because by having you stay, it's going to probably make it worse. So those are 2 big things that are anticipated. Talk about what the day is going to look like for them. Talk about who's dropping them off, what they might have packed for lunch, what they might have for snack, who's going to pick them up, so that they know kind of what their day is going to look like. That's going to help with some of the anxiety. So those are just a few things. The first day it's going to be a lot. There's going to be nerves. The teacher's nervous too. Don't forget about that poor teacher. I get nervous. All the teachers that are going back to school in a couple of weeks, we all start having the same dreams leading up to the first days of school, just like the kids do. So encourage the teacher, get to know the teacher, and just be prepared for some nerves and excitement, and just let it naturally happen. Don't put so much emphasis on those first few days.
So as you get past those first nerves of the first few days of school, how do things continue and progress? You've got these kids new to a classroom, maybe for the first time. You're starting to work with them one-on-one. What can parents expect the first few weeks of kindergarten to look like?
So you can expect a very tired child. That's the first thing. Especially, people think that their children will have no problem transitioning because they were in a preschool or they were in some kind of structured form of daycare or whatever it is. Kindergarten is a new game. It's a lot of kids in a school, in a classroom. It's new faces. It's new lunch schedules. Everything is new. And so you will have a tired child. And there's a couple ways to help fight that. You're not going to be able to solve it and give them a big boost of energy, but you can help a couple ways. Try to keep the routine of their day and their evening and their morning, everything, keep it synced up. Get up at the same time, follow the same routine, brush your teeth, get dressed. All of those simple things will really help. That's one thing you can do. We have snack time in my classroom. Avoid sending junk. Try to aim for something with protein, nothing sugar-based, something that's going to help give them a little bit of a boost in the middle of the morning instead of something that's going to be like a downer to them. and also to like show them that you're seeing that they're in kindergarten now, and that we say like you're a grown up in my class, and that they're independent. So now you're in kindergarten, you've got this. You can carry your own backpack. You can pack your own snack. You can lay out your clothes the evening before. All of those things will help in that being completely exhausted phase, when you're showing them that they have got a buy-in here, that they are independent and they got it. So you're going to see a tired kindergartner. You're going to see a teacher trying to build a community. That's our hardest feat the first couple of weeks. The curriculum and the academics and all that will come, but the most important part is to get the children to trust you to trust the children, the parents to respect you and know that what you're doing is eventually going to pay off and going to be something beautiful. So in those first couple of weeks, don't expect the teacher to say, come on in, let's have you volunteer every day. Those first couple of weeks are for the teacher, even months really. Those first couple weeks, months are for the teacher to build a community with the children, and to really get to know them, and vice versa. And so don't expect to be in the classroom. That's another thing. And again, stick to the routine. That will help. But you're going to have a very tired kindergartner, and that's totally normal. And there might be some curveballs in there where your child comes home and they didn't touch one thing in their lunch. I get this every single year, and somebody calls me, oh my gosh, my child's going to starve to death. What generally happens is that they either are distracted by their new friends and they just sit and chit chat, kind of like some of us adults do. And that's okay. And it just kind of has to come down to like communicating with your child. These are the expectations at lunch. And also another thing is, if your child comes home and says like, I don't have any friends, or I didn't do anything at school today, try to avoid those one word questions. How was school today? Good. It's kind of an open-ended question. You could say, if you could switch seats with anybody in your class, who would it be? And really make it so that there's a conversation started. I would want to switch with so-and-so because, or what word did your teacher say a lot today? And see when did she say it? Things like that. What was your favorite part of the day and why? So try to avoid those simple one-word answers, and that's how you're going to dig out the information from your child specifically. So you'll have the first couple of weeks will be great, exciting, and exhausting.
Yeah, that sounds about what I remember. Those kids have so much energy, but they really burn it off. You guys pack it in kindergarten, and passing out in the back of the car after school was not uncommon.
And same with teachers, though. I mean, that's the reality. And it's important to remember, like, that when the school day is over, you're probably not going to get much from them by the end of the day. They are wiped, and so are the teachers.
Absolutely. So, Chelsea, some of these parents who are going to be watching this interview, their kids are not quite ready for kindergarten. They're not going to be starting this year, but they are maybe going to be starting in 1 or 2 years. What can parents who have young children now start to do and start to think about to help facilitate when they do get to kindergarten?
So I think the most important part of that is that you're still dealing with a very young child. And that age group, 3, 4, 5, those are some really valuable times. Not the valuable time to sit down and give them a workbook and can work really, really hard on letters and numbers and stuff. It's really a great time to just teach your child to be an independent person, to love learning, and to really like cherish those last few moments you have before they start school. Because as soon as they start kindergarten, the next time you see them off is when they go off to college. So it's really important you cherish those last few years that you have with them until they start the big leagues, I guess would be what I say. So remember that they're little, and don't push the academics on them so hard, because I don't want to get them when they come to kindergarten hating reading already, or thinking that they're an awesome reader when they're really not a real reader, and they don't really love it. They just have books memorized and they don't really love digging into a book. So if you want to work on academics, aim for the organic learning experience. So instead of sitting down with a workbook, maybe instead get out, boil spaghetti noodles and make letters with spaghetti noodles, or sing songs, or if you're at the grocery store and you pick up a box of Cheerios, have them read you the letters in the Cheerios or any numbers they can find on the back. I still am a real big believer in reading at night with your child. I think that's really, really important, but I wouldn't force them to try to read the sight words really fluently while you're reading. Let them enjoy that time one-on-one with you. We at Hamilton have a no homework policy all the way up through third grade. We call it our PDF. It's playtime, family time, and downtime. There's a lot to be said for that, especially from kindergarten to third grade, but that's even more important when you're talking about a little child. It breaks my heart to see kids working in like workbooks and working on reading and writing when there's so many great fun ways to do it. I would say go onto Pinterest to parents that want to work on academic-based things and find some fun things you can do with your child instead of just shoving it down their throat the boring way. And the last, probably most important part is that this is your chance to teach your child to be independent, to go and sit with Play-Doh and write their name out by themselves, get the Play-Doh out and put the Play-Doh away the correct way. Or if you want a snack, get the snack yourself. All of those little things, because classroom sizes are getting bigger and bigger. And it really is wonderful when we have kids come in and they are self-sufficient and they aren't going to raise their hand every single day to have somebody help them open a bag of goldfish. They got it. And if they don't know how to open it, they know how to ask a friend or to try to figure it out themselves. We call them problem solvers in our classroom. So aim for an independent child. How do you start zipping your jacket? How do you start dressing yourself? All those little things. Those are far, far more important than can you read or can you write a full sentence. Let them have fun. They're still little children.
Totally agree. And I love that approach. You know, I feel like as parents, we get so much of the academics thrown at us that with testing and everything going on now, and I know it's harder for teachers too, everything's just at this totally different pace. It just is so refreshing to hear that what's really important is making these humans awesome in the long run.
Right. I'd rather someone leave my classroom an awesome person than the highest reader in the class, because you'll get so much more out of being an awesome person than a fantastic reader.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Chelsea. You've really opened up a new world of thinking about kindergarten. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.